Winnie Street, just off of Robinson Road. You can contact us at our office, 601-5125, or follow us on any one of our social media pages. Facebook at facebook.com/The Life Experience, YouTube at Life Worship Center, or Instagram, #LWC Bahamas. We look forward to seeing and hearing from you.
Listen to Glory 93.9 for the best mix of traditional, classic, cultural, contemporary, and gospel in New Providence, Bahamas.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, the redhead of gospel, Alexis Fight, right here in the Bahamas, and you're listening to my girl Mericha right here on Glory 93.9 FM. Lord,
Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Lyrically Blessed, and right now you're tuning to the Midday Glory with my girl Mericha. Y'all keep it locked, 93.9 Glory. Y'all know what it is.
Hi, this is Bree Battle, and you're listening to Glory 93.9 FM with my girl Mericha.
You're listening to Glory 93.9 FM. It's 8 minutes gone by the 11 o'clock hour. It's a Monday morning. And now, officially here on Midday Glory, what that means is Monday mornings is girl talk time. It's officially girl talk time. Let me get you in here, Italia. It's officially girl talk time. And so Italia is here in studio with me, and for those of you who are tuned in on Facebook Live, we're trying to get our sound sorted out, so just give us a few moments. Our technical producer is in studio with us, and he's assisting us in getting ourselves sorted out, so please be patient with us. We're just asking you to be patient with us as we get our sound levels right. We're trying to get our little levels right. But thank you to all of you who are tuned in. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people. Yeah, let me just say hi before we get started. Let's just say hi to some people. Hey Lystra. Hey Jaconda. Hey Jaconda.
Monica.
Hey Michelle. Hey Vernita.
Shouldn't she be?
She's on mine. She's tuning on mine.
Let's back up. What? Shouldn't she be to work?
I'm sorry, Mom.
Vernita.
She might be tuning in to. Let's see who else I got here. Hey Satira. Hey Janae, Mrs. Roberts,
yes,
and Catherine Benaby. Hey Catherine. Hey Stephanie. That's my girl Stephanie, and Jean the wife. Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Listen, we're so excited to be back with you today. I still have morning voice, so y'all please forgive me.
Jesus. When you have a little baby, you don't have morning voice.
I
was talking from like 4 o'clock this morning.
We was just having this conversation the other day, right? We was having this conversation the other day. How I usually come to work every day with morning voice because I speak to no one.
Oh, jeez.
I speak to no one before I come to work.
Lucky you.
I speak to no one. I think I need to turn these down here too, Dalton. Is that what it is? So it's not as distorting. Is that good? Is that sounding better? You gotta wait a little while. All right, so while we're still sorting out, y'all, just please forgive us. We're sorting out our technical difficulties, and so we're trying to get these things sorted out, so be patient with us. While we're sorting that out, okay, so we're back to this conversation about single versus married.
Yeah.
And it's Love Week, y'all. It's Love Week. In fact, Italia, we took your advice, and I think we played a love talk today, didn't we, Dalton? We played a love talk today for the Life Radio Show. So this week, I think we're going to try our best to play the love talk
awesome.
For this week, leading into Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
Italia, what you doing for Valentine's Day? because I don't really want to have a conversation about what I do for Valentine's Day, right?
Valentine's Day. I'm
what you
working
doing?
on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
So, yeah, I work on Valentine's Day, but I'm gonna have on all my red. I have on everything.
Money gotta make. You
Yeah,
doing
man.
red hair?
Actually, I had on a red pony. Look up my video, guys. I'm posting a video sometime today. And some pictures where I'm sporting some awesome red ponytail and everything. Check it out.
So you're gonna have a red ponytail.
A red, blazing red ponytail.
I think I'm gonna wear that red satin lipstick I got from you. That's
Yeah.
probably the most red I'm gonna have on.
Yeah,
on
I'm
Friday.
gonna do red. I'm going all the way.
Probably
But
gonna wear black.
I'm reaching my nose.
I'm probably gonna wear black.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why am I wearing red?
Wear
Give me a reason.
Because Jesus loves you, baby.
Yeah, he loves me every day. I don't have to wear red.
Yeah, no man, wear red. Let me tell you my thing. I know it's like super cheesy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole Valentine's Day.
It is.
Do the go to dinner and blah blah blah. But I do it. I do it because my husband and I were so busy like throughout the year, and not
You
that we
need
don't-
to make the time.
Yeah, so I like the fact that we look forward to that. Something to look forward to for me. That's what it is, and I like it. And so I make a big deal about it. Like I want to do something. You don't have to go out to dinner.
Right.
We have to do something.
Okay, well, I'm going to expose myself. The reason why I don't care for Valentine's Day is because I've never really had a Valentine.
Aww. But look here, I just really started doing the whole Valentine's Day thing. Honestly.
Like, people have bought me stuff, but like, I've
yeah.
never really like had...
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell the truth. One Valentine's Day, I got something.
Yeah.
Like, out of my 32 years of life.
Oh.
One Valentine's Day, I got something.
Yeah.
And it was from somebody who... I mean, he's cool, but I didn't feel the same way about him as he felt about me. And I mean, no hard feelings. I don't hate him. I have nothing against him. It's just that I didn't feel the same way. But aside from that, even when I was like in relationships, I don't know. It just wasn't a thing.
What?
I know, right? So
Who these guys is?
I don't know.
Marisha?
Child,
We gotta talk now.
That's why they ain't here no more.
I see.
That's why
Thank
they
God.
gone. That's why
Thank
they gone.
God. No man.
So
Even-
no, I've never really I've never been out on a date for Valentine's Day,
Oh,
and
wow. Oh no.
like yeah. So that's why I wear black. I mean, listen, black is slimming.
No man. Valentine's Day for me, even dating. I must say the guys they had little romance in them. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, man.
No, I've never.
And so I got a basket at work. I remember one
And I
time.
want that. I want the flowers. I
And
want the.
flowers. And my
I
hubby,
want the
he does
chocolate
He does the. I just have to remind him a couple of times, but
But, yeah.
he sent the flowers
That's
and the
so nice.
stuff, and yeah, I
That's
just
so
get
nice.
it.
So it was
honestly,
actually-
it's good.
It was actually last year, first time I ever got it.
Yeah.
I got flowers and I got some perfume.
And how did that feel?
And chocolate. It felt good, but it felt awkward. It felt good, but it felt awkward because I didn't feel the same way. So I kind of felt like I shouldn't have accepted it.
Oh,
But the
really?
person didn't let me give it back. So
because it's for you.
yeah, so it felt good. It made me feel good. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
As a single person, one of my biggest struggles sometimes is I feel forgotten. I feel like no one sees me. I feel like no one remembers me sometimes. And so, geez.
Mericha.
So, yeah, so
No, Mericha.
so sometimes like, okay, so when something like that happens, it just kind of makes you feel like somebody remembers you, like you're important to someone. And so that's what it did for me. It made me feel like, oh wow, like someone has me
right,
on their mind. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Mericha, you get all. Oh.
So that's what it was for me. But I still felt kind of awkward about it because I was like, I don't feel the same way. But it made my day. It made my day. And I don't know if the person who gave it to me is listening, but I just want to say thank you again for doing that because it made my day. And actually, it didn't just make my day. It really made me feel like, wow, like I'm worth something. Because I was in a different place at that time. I can admit that. Last year, I was not in the place that I'm in now.
Okay.
Where I could say that I see my worth more now than I did then.
Yeah, okay.
And so for me that did a whole lot for me. It made me realize that some of the things that I was accepting to be okay as a single person.
No.
With the persons that I were dating at the time.
Right.
It wasn't acceptable.
Right.
And I was accepting some things that I should not have been accepting. And so even though, you know, me and that person never pursued a relationship or whatever, the way that he treated me, the things that he did, how he pursued me, it showed me that, like, no, you deserve this and more. Because the Valentine's Day wasn't the first thing that he did. He did like a lot of other things like before that, and it was just kind of like the final one, because I said, you know, listen, I don't feel comfortable accepting these things knowing that I don't feel the same way. So that's how it came to an end. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm crying. So you can say something.
No, that's good that you get in touch with those kind of feelings.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me though, I'm thinking about me, and even as a single person, and I don't know how to read this, but I guess I was just so caught up in me.
Wow.
That to think about Valentine's Day, I just didn't. Oh, am I void of emotion? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's so in terms of my emotionally,
right,
feeling like, no, I couldn't say that I felt that way. I didn't feel that way when those times came around. Well, you know, because Mericha, for me, I guess I love me.
Mm-hmm.
I love me, and honestly, while I'm not going to say that I didn't feel a need to be with somebody when I was single, when I went through, you know, that time in my life, but for me, I just never focused on it. It was just
it wasn't something you wanted.
Yeah, it wasn't a focus, and so I didn't necessarily feel like I was missing anything, or and you know, always spending time with my family, my sisters, and I don't know. So I just never really went through the, you know. I don't know.
I think that it also makes a difference to the environment that you're in. Yeah. I'm always in church. Always around church people. And I think that being a single woman in the church world, it kind of places a stigma on you. So especially if you're like me and you're active in ministry. Right. Sorry, someone is asking me why didn't I feel the same way? I didn't feel the same way about that person because I just wasn't attracted to him. And it didn't have anything to do with physical attraction. It was mostly just we didn't click for me. Like, just. Right. And I felt like if I strung him along, that I would have been wrong for doing that.
Okay.
I mean, let's tell the truth. As women, sometimes we use men, and I could have used him if I wanted to. Yeah. But no, that's not who I am. Yeah. That's not who I am.
And bringing that up, though, talking about you know, women and using men, I think that's something we need to kind of talk about. Yeah. Because a lot of women feel like once they're in a relationship with a man, it is their responsibility to take care of them. Take care of them in, you know, every sense of the word.
We mess ourselves up. We mess ourselves up, though.
Give me a stipend. Give me money. They just feel as if the barter here is
right. Like
you give me money. I give you what? Sex?
I guess. Or you get to be with me.
You get to be with me.
And while we want the men in our lives to be providers and protectors, because that's what they are, like, by nature. Sure. I think we actually do ourselves a huge injustice as women, because when we do that, when we take advantage of men and then they're hurt, we create the problem for another woman. Because what ends up happening is that guy tells his friends about this experience that he's had with this girl, and then that guy is now also damaged and hurt. And men operate differently when they're hurt. They function differently. As women, we open up, right? We can open up again. Yes. It takes time for us, but we can open up again. Men, it takes a longer time for them to heal, and they shut down. They shut down. They get quiet. They shut down, and then they go into me mode, where I do what's best for me.
Because I actually had a guy actually approach me about that. He's like, I'm in a relationship with this lady, and she wants me to take care of her. Like, what should I do? And he was really she was expecting that from him, and I told him, like, no way. there's no way that's your responsibility. You should not take on that responsibility of no kind of financial responsibility at all. It's not your responsibility.
That's not your wife.
Yeah. And
That's
he
not
was
your wife.
he was torn. He was torn.
The two have not become one yet.
Yeah, he was torn about it. And
You
I'm like,
know.
no, man. Don't let that woman do that to you.
And if you want to give me a gift, then give me a gift.
Yeah.
But the two haven't become one yet.
Right.
And if we're not engaged and on the road or having that conversation in our relationship that says, okay, this is where we're headed, then no. No.
Yeah. We give too much too quickly, man.
I think also as women, we make ourselves lazy.
Yeah.
We make ourselves lazy. We make ourselves lazy when we get into these relationships and we expect the man to do this. No.
Yeah,
You're being lazy because you're still an adult. Well, you should be an adult if you're in a relationship. You're still an adult. You still have responsibilities you need to take care of, and so you need to do what you're supposed to do.
I agree. If you're living above your means, you need to get it together, honey.
You need to go make some more money, or you need to pull back off of what you're doing.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. So that was my friend Satira. We went to high school together. She was asking me why I didn't feel the same way.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't remember what we was talking about before that. I was making a point.
We were just talking.
Oh no, I remember now. So being in the church, being in the church as a single woman in ministry. So they try to set you up with the church stewards, the church guys.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Jesus.
And I have had some experiences.
You have any comment, Malika?
I have had some experiences, Italia, with the people that they have tried to set me up with.
Say I reached.
That's Latanya.
Say I reached.
I have had some experiences. It has been, Lord Jesus. I don't want to speak ill of God's people. I am definitely the type of person where
we just being real.
But I'm still careful. I'm careful because I am a lover of the Lord's church, so I'm going to be very careful with what I say.
No, we're not lambasting anybody.
No.
And we're not trying to bring anybody down.
No. But I just need to say, I'll say this, and this is based on my experience, so this is not a sweeping generalization.
Okay.
This is based on my experience. Based on my experience as someone who has been in church all of her life, church guys don't date church girls. This is my experience. They don't. And I will tell the truth. I have dated non-Christian men. And non-Christian men don't want to date me either because I'm untouchable. Because they see me. They have this image of who I am. Of who this woman of God is. And
should that be a good thing? Like,
that
should be able to help you out a little bit.
It sucks.
No.
Because I'm never allowed in those instances when you place me on a pedestal, I can't be human.
I got you.
I can't be human. No, I can't be me.
And that is all the more reason why the Bible says what it says in terms of being not unequally yoked. And then to Mericha, I'm not saying that you're, like this super duper star or whatever.
Because I'm not. Let's
yeah.
Let's tell the truth here.
All right, but the thing
I'm
is,
not.
You can't just date anybody, man.
I know.
Anybody ain't just for you, Mericha.
I know.
Yeah, so
I know. And listen, I get it. I completely understand it. But here's the thing. Before I am radio personality Mericha, before I am youth pastor Mericha, before I am... it's
not spinning.
So maybe you just need to turn it the next way then. Can you do that? Yeah, just turn it. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that there. Maybe you could lean it up against something else. Before I have all the things people know me for. They know me for singing. They know me for all kind of stuff now because my plate is so full. I am like...
Hey, Chandra! Sorry.
Excited. I am a human being. I am a single woman. Like, I'm a person.
Yeah.
I'm a person. I do everything a regular, normal woman does.
That's why stars date stars. The rich marry rich.
Let's talk about married people right now. I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, Chandra said you're a star to her.
Oh, Chandra is so awesome.
See, Latanya said better. Okay, thank you, Latanya. Use my girl. You looking at all the people and look at me, see me sideways, and then nobody say nothing to you, Latanya. Thank you, Latanya. Thanks. Yeah, but Mericha all says that we have a standard.
I do. I do have a standard.
Hold on. I'm not talking about your standard. There is a standard for us. There's already before you even get to you. There's a standard for us that we have to be aware of, and we can't forget nor neglect.
And I'm not saying that I'm neglecting or forgetting it. What I'm saying is, just give me a chance to be human. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, give me a chance to be human. Don't assume things about me because you've seen me operate in ministry, or you've seen me sing somewhere, or you've seen me speak somewhere, or maybe even if you saw me minister to somebody, or even if you just like hear me on the radio, or whatever it is you think you know about me. And not just about me, just people in general. Like, let's stop being so judgmental. Don't if you have not had a conversation, listen, man. If you have not really like had a serious, like, real conversation with me for like longer than 20 minutes, you don't know me. You don't know me. Yeah,
someone said it best. Not because you see me on these Facebook posts.
Listen,
I mean, you know me.
I don't post my personal life on social media.
You don't know me. It's true.
So yeah, you know, and so it's stuff like that, and so I don't know.
That's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
It's a real challenge. Yeah. When I say real, I mean like real, because even for like, I don't know what it's like to be somebody who's not me. So let's just talk about that. So for people who are listening to the show and they're like, well, oh, she's talking about herself. I don't know how to be anybody else but me. I've been me all of my life. I can't even date Italia.
Wow.
Like really date, like go out. Because the first time I got happened, that's Mericha boyfriend. That's her boyfriend. Oh, him? Why is she dating him? Like, you know, so it's, anyway, talk for the married people.
No, and I was about to tell you, as far as me and me being me, that too, you know, could be a challenge too in marriage. I mean, you go through the knowledge phase, yes, but then it's nothing like living with a person. It's true, nothing like living with a person. So now when the Italia you may see inside the makeup store,
it's not the same person, is she?
May not be the Italia, or it may be, but you know, can you handle her? Can you handle the Italia at home who can be like, when I see the curtain halfway across the tub, every time I see it, if I see it a million times halfway across, I pull it across. I want to see it fully across.
Because you don't want no mildew get on the curtain, because the wet curtain touching the wet curtain.
I'm fuming, girl.
And then you have to
the Colgate ain't cover.
Oh, Jesus. Help us, Lord.
You know, there's certain things like, you know, there's certain things I want to see. Talia is a certain way at home, guys. You know, when I get up in the morning, like I want to leave the bed like a certain way. And I ain't trying to say like I'm no perfect person now, like always clean, super clean, 100%.
No, but I know what you mean.
But there's little things I like to see. You know, I like to see at home, and then too, there's those times when I don't want to be perfect, or that I want to just throw my shoes by the door and pick it up whenever. I want to leave the dishes in the sink. Yep. And I want to wash them whenever I want to wash them. Yep. You know, and I don't want to hang up the clothes.
I don't want to hang up the clothes.
Thank you. I don't feel like. Should I say it on radio?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't say it.
Don't. I know what you're about to say.
I don't feel like going to shower. Let's be real.
Okay, let's be real. We said we gonna have a real talk. You know, someone told me this. And I'm not going to say who said it to me, and I'm not going to tell you what my response was either. But someone told me, if I don't bathe twice a day, I'm ready to be married. And I looked at that person.
What did they say?
If I don't bathe twice a day, I'm not ready to be married.
What?
I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, I have some comments. Let's go to these comments. I love what Satira said. Satira said, let's talk about being unapologetically you, though. Listen, Satira, let me say this. Even though I said everything that I said just now, let me tell you something. I am unapologetically me.
Oh, yes.
I am me.
Mericha, I'm going to tell you some things on this video. Oh, Lord.
Listen to me. I am me. You don't like me, bump you.
I know, right?
Bump you. And that's the Christian way for me to say it. Bump you. Bump you. You don't like me?
Bump you.
Too bad. Too sad.
Hashtag bump you. That's our hashtag for the day, folks. Hashtag bump you. I want to see that everywhere, okay?
It's so interesting when I did the makeup video the other day, somebody actually pulled out something that I said, and they sent me a little note, and they were like, I like what you said. I'm going to make that my motto for 2020. Because I said on the video, you know what? This is just who I am. This is what I do. And if you don't like it, too bad.
I know, right? I can't do anyone. I can't do anyone else but me.
I am who I am, and so I am unapologetically me. But I'm exposing to you some of the things that I can't talk to people about. I can't say all the time, which is the fact of the matter is, while I'm in this place where I believe God, right, I have to talk about the reality of like who I am as a person. It's just not easy all the time. Another comment here from Michelle Moore. She says, this might sound like a cliche, but you have not met the one for you as yet. I believe that. Let yourself off the hook. Don't you dare settle. You're worth much. Relax and let much find you. Well, I received that.
Yes.
I received that. Listra says, wash them dishes.
See, Listra?
And same Listra, thing. We can tell you, God bless you, because we ain't washing them dishes all the time.
Bump you!
Hashtag bump you.
I know, right? But I think, and guess what? And that leads to such a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
When you can just be you and let your hair down, and that's why I tell my hubby, I mean, I want you to be you. I want you to be crazy with me. Let's be crazy together.
Right.
You know, that's how it should be in the relationship, in your marriage. And I mean, and getting into a relationship, if you
should be you, right? Like, don't fake, don't lie, don't pretend.
If you don't want that relationship to last, fake it.
Okay,
Recipe
you know
for
what?
disaster.
This is a good segue. Let's talk about the knowledge phase, because that's what we were having this conversation about, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying the beginning of relationships. Let's talk about the knowledge phase.
Yeah.
Because what are the things that you let me rephrase the question. Are there things that we can say, I'm not going to show this person quite yet? Or, you understand what I'm saying? Italia, one of the biggest issues that I have as an individual, this is me. And I want to make this very clear to all of those who are listening on the radio. Italia and Mericha can only talk about ourselves. We can't talk about anybody else.
Right.
So please don't take it from the perspective as if we're having conversations and we're being full of ourselves or whatever. We can only talk about our experiences. Okay. We can't speak for anyone else. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to speak for me. Italia, first of all, I'm 32. So let me just establish that. And for those of you who want to pretend like your age is not a factor when it comes to relationships and you want to live in a lie, that's you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So I'm 32 years old. Mm-hmm. When I meet a guy, I don't hesitate. When I say I don't hesitate, I lay all my cards on the table. Mm-hmm. I ain't beating around the bush.
Okay.
Because truth of the matter is, after the first date, I know if it's going to work or not. So after I've laid all my cards on the table and I see your response or your reaction, because there's a difference. Mm-hmm. If I see your response or your reaction to the cards that I've laid on the table, and I'm like, I don't think this can work, I gone. Mm. Now, from some person's perspective, they may feel like I've let out too much too soon. Mm-hmm. So, like, take for example, on the first date, what I'll let you know is, okay, listen, this is what my life is like. This is what my day looks like. These are the things that I'm passionate about. Okay. This is where I see myself 5 years from now. Here are some of the things that kind of, make me upset. Some of the things that annoy me.
You let this out on the first date?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're allowed to disagree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about me in my situation and how I for me, no, I don't lay out all those, say too much too quickly in terms of like, the specifics, I guess.
Right.
It's very informal for me. Very informal, just friendly. Is this cool? That guy cool or not?
Right.
Can we just talk?
Right.
We just gonna talk.
Okay.
And if you just talk. And if I'm feeling, and you could tell somebody's an idiot from the first time you talk to them. Yes, you can. And so for me, my approach is always a little more informal. And so I feeling them out in terms of, if what the old people say, if my spirit
Connecting.
connect. So again, because then from there, that will determine if I talk to this man again.
I have never.
Very informal.
I have never.
I go in
ever-
looking at nothing. I'm not going in. I'm not.
I have never dated and had a shallow conversation.
No.
No.
But you gotta start.
Can I tell you? Okay, can I tell you?
The last jump in the deep water.
Wait.
To get to the deep, you gotta go to the
I don't
shallow.
know. I don't know what it is, but even like the guys that I've spoken to, like they don't ever start off like shallow. Like I'll tell you.
Don't sound uptight, man.
Listen.
Y'all young people y'all single people too uptight. y'all single people need to relax.
Oh my gosh.
Just relax. Just relax.
Listen to these comments. These comments ain't no joke. Listra says, belly breakdown, get the Pepto. Some guys can't handle that just yet, Mericha.
Too much.
Gia says that scares men when you tell them all that on the first date. Too much info. Okay, let
Hold
me
on,
tell you.
Back up though. Before you mention, but don't forget that. Gia, why aren't you here? That's it. Go ahead.
So let me tell you, the last guy I dated, let me tell you the very first thing we talked about. And I remember this conversation just like yesterday because it wasn't too long ago.
Wow.
And we were having a conversation on Facebook. He responded to a post, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically the summation of my post was the hashtag it's a man shortage. That was
Okay.
the summation
All right.
of my post, right? So do it. Shows up in my DMs.
All
This,
right.
2020 talks, right?
All right.
So he shows up in my DMs.
Direct message for the old folks.
Yes. And he's like, no, man, I don't think that's the case. I think that the single men and the single women are just not in places where they meet one another. This is how he starts the conversation. And then the first question he asks me is, what do I want in a man? No joke. I'm not kidding you. And then after I say what I want in a man, I ask him what he wants in a woman. And our conversation was never shallow at any point in time. Like, at no point in time did we have now when we went out on a date, we were laughing and joking and cracking on people and so on and so forth. But like when we would have conversations, like when we would like go to lunch or whatever and stuff, like we used to have like.
So let me ask you this: when
conversations.
he asked you that, though, what went through your mind?
When he asked me,
Yeah, like, what do you think was his reason for asking you that?
I think he wanted to see if he could be it. He was measuring himself against my words.
So you
Because
think he
for
probably was
him-
interested?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He was. But for him, I don't want to say too much about that whole situation.
Right.
But for him, it was like, I didn't know. I found out eventually later in our conversation that this dude had been watching me for a while. I didn't know that.
Right.
And so his thing was, I have a skinny boyfriend somewhere, so don't don't bother with her because she got one skinny boyfriend who she hiding because she don't post her life on social media.
Oh, God.
So his thing was, there's no way this girl's single. Like, no way.
Right.
Until I made this post that day about being single or whatever, and like my hashtag,
Right.
it's a man shortage, right? So.
Okay. I'm listening.
So anyway, it didn't work out, and that's okay. It's fine. But he's cool. We cool. Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
But I've never,
Oh man, too much.
like, I've never had.
Still, and even
But I feel
asking
like
him-
I'm wasting time.
What do you mean?
I feel like I'm wasting time. Either I like you or I don't like you.
No,
I'm looking for friends. See, I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm not looking for friends. I don't want no friends. I don't want to be a friend.
But then to date, you will have to be a little more relaxed, a little more open.
I think that it's important for you to realize that me sharing who I am does not mean I'm not relaxed. That's me being relaxed. That's me.
Wow.
That's me. So while it might make somebody else feel uncomfortable,
How do I get my Christian friend relaxed?
like that's me. That is me, Italia. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I want you to think about this because this is
So like, So like when a guy comes and like he's talking, you're loving these serious conversations, like you're thinking like marriage possibly, like this could be the one. Is that what's going through your head? Like don't mess this one up. This one.
The first time we talk, no.
Not the first time.
No. It takes me a while before I even consider that. It takes a long time before I consider that. Yeah. So that's not what it is. It's just that for me, it's like, okay, if we can get to,
you're just serious.
If we can get to know each other, let's just get to know each other.
No man.
And I'm not panicking. Like I'm not panicking in that place.
Right.
Like
I got you.
It's not a place of anxiety for me. It's like, okay, we adults here. I mean, let me tell you the truth. If I'm dating somebody, they're probably going to be 35 and older. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, what we doing? What this is? I 32, you 35. Boo, we ain't got no time to be trying to figure out. Either we are going to work or we're not going to work. So, let's figure this out quick. Because if what I have to do in my life and what God has called me to do and what you have to do in your life and what God has called you to do, can't marry, can't meet, bye.
So Latanya, as she's made a few comments, let me just share. Latanya said one of the goals for most women is marriage and kids, but men don't like to feel like they're not in control. And the problem is most single women tend to be a bit controlling. So not that saying that you're looking for the whole kids marriage thing, but the controlling. And you're right. That assertiveness, that well, I'm giving this, and then that, like she said, can be a turn off. All right. Then she goes on to say you can't come off as I got this and I don't need you. And I don't know if she's saying that so much that I don't need you. But if you stay, you go. Like I don't have time to waste, and that right there, that whole feeling that needs to calm down. That part of it needs to calm down. Again, as I hope you don't mind. As simple as me telling we was talking the other day, right? So as simple as sometimes when I tell my husband, go empty the garbage. And you may say that is such a simple statement. Like, what are you talking about? Why could that be an issue? The garbage need to empty. You just told them to empty the garbage, right? You would think.
But you can't say it like that.
That is, for them, that's such a loaded statement because, okay, this woman bossing me around. She's all kind of things.
Yeah.
All right. So even that. So you have to take all of this into consideration. And like I tell you, like even now, like I'm learning so much. And we talk about humility in marriage, and like I told you guys too the other day, like I didn't realize that being this boss at work and do this, do that, I tend to take that at home. I didn't even realize it. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling you the garbage needs to empty. I didn't realize like I'm bossing you around. Right. And that's not my intention. Right. But so now lately it has caused me to kind of stop and think about how I say what I say. When I ask my husband to do certain things and whatnot. It really, really makes a difference. And so you may be coming across as this, this woman don't need me. She, whatever. And and guys, let me tell you, you think we go far. They go super far as well.
I know they do.
Very far. So he thinking about 5-10 years down the line when he married you and you doing this and grabbing him by his shirt and let's go and it's time to go to church and he's like, no. Men honestly, they want an easy life. When I say that, they don't want nobody to stress them out. They really, they can't take the stress. They don't want nobody. If you tell them, baby, you say that, I can do it. You ain't got to say it like a million times. Right. They really, really mean it's like do something to them. It's do something to them, Mericha. And so yeah, that maybe was maybe coming off. And I too have that kind of, tendency to be like that. With my hubby. But hubby, I love you. Trying. Your girl trying.
I got plenty comments. Goodness gracious, these people talking. So let's back up. Satira says, well, for me, dating is a flow and go. And I'm not about the rehearsed 99 questions. I like to conversate about life and perspective, and it flows and goes deeper. Yes, it is scary. Some guys' life aren't as structured and they can't measure. Dominique says, while dating, you will never learn everything about that person. Even in marriage, you learn something new every day about each other. Listra says, when would a
Thanks,
single
Taylor.
woman consider a man as husband worthy? I have no idea. Only Italia can answer that question.
Say what? What was that?
When would a single woman consider a man as husband worthy and why? Well, sorry, as husband worthy.
When would a woman consider a man husband worthy?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I mean, if you want to find someone, you want to be aligned, going after the same things, purpose, plans. You know, got to be aligned. And then there's some things that we want to see for us. You want someone who's whatever those things are for you. You want someone who's a provider, like for me, family oriented. You know, I grew up with my family heavily involved and active in what we do. So when my husband came in and was a part of my family, he saw that you know, I go by my mom, I spend a lot of time there, and he is family oriented too. He likes to spend time by his mommy, and so I wanted someone like that, involved, but business oriented, someone that's gonna go after.
Right.
Something, you know,
right.
And so once you find that person who has that, now you don't want to be like too anal about it. Like they gotta have they gotta be 6'5" and a certain chocolate mocha. No. And no,
right.
You want to be hygienic. You don't want to smell them before you see them.
Right,
Little things like that, you know.
Right.
Because after that, you got to realize that there's some in your mind you may be perfect. Trust me, because in my mind I'm perfect. I'm 100.
Absolute perfection.
But believe it or not, when your hubby sees you, or when your boyfriend sees you, and when you really get to know each other, you realize that you're not perfect.
No.
He's not perfect.
No.
But because of those core things that you see and you need and you want in him, you know, you're gonna be able to make it in our relationship.
I hope that answers Listra's question. That was a really good question. I got a lot of comments here. Dominic knows. It says, you should not judge that person on the first several dates. It's better to be friends for a minute, then you can be more familiar with that person. She also says, don't look for a husband or a wife, look for a life partner.
Friend, yeah.
Gia says, Gia, why are you coming for me? Anyway, agreed, too strong. You have to allow the man to prove himself.
Yeah.
And one date, most times you won't see that. It's true. It's true.
Guys.
And Listra agreed with you. He says, yes, men think far.
Far.
Satira says, confidence is beautiful, but it is more beautiful when it is subtle and humble. Michelle says, that boss at home will get you silent. LOL. They take that as another order given to a child.
Yes, yeah. Let me tell you, and I think the reason why we had so much divorces is because people are not willing to step out of their comfort zone and like really step out of your skin and look back at who you really are. They don't. And they don't want to change. Because see, I want my marriage to work, Mericha. I want to be happy in my marriage, and I want to be my best me and all this stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, so Simran wants me to do this. He wants me to do that. What is that really going to take anything off of me? Is that make me less of a woman? Like, really?
Let me tell you something that I heard, because let me preempt what I'm going to say. I'm single, but I'm preparing to be married. So let me just say that.
Okay.
So I was listening to a conversation that Bishop T.D. Jakes and his wife Sarita Jakes were having.
Not the model
homes. So she said something.
She
said something that I just have not been able to let go of. She changed the way that we look at the word compromise, right? So she said compromise is often a negative word in relationships, especially in marriages. But she said instead of thinking it as a negative word, she said let's break down the word. She said let's take the M out of there, and she says let's call this word co-promise. And we are together. Listen,
I love that.
And we are coming together, promising one another that we are going to be in each other's company forever. And when you are in a company, like when you're in a company and you establish a company, changes have to be made. You make adjustments for your company. And she says your marriage is going to require two persons to come together to form the in the promise that you've made to one another. So that was the first thing. That was the first thing that she said. And it was so crazy too, because it's just amazing how God works it out, because After I watched that that message, I ended up having to speak at the prison this past Friday. And one of the things that God gave me when I was talking at the prison, he said to me, to say to those women, he said, our issue is that the negative things in our lives almost always cause us to make instantaneous change. But it's the good things that we have to take our time to change. And he says, you are a hypocrite. You are a hypocrite, because if the truth of my word or the truth of a situation or circumstance that is positive, that is good, cannot have the same effect or even more stronger effect on your life than the negative things, then truthfully you are allowing negativity to rule and be Lord over your life, and not the truth of the goodness of who God is and the truth of what needs to happen in that situation for the better. So it was so crazy, because almost always when God allows me to speak to people, he was rebuking me with my own mouth. And I realized that I allowed the negative things in my life to immediately cause me to make a change. When I get bad news, Italia, just like most human beings, when we get bad news, we be like, oh my gosh, no, what am I going to do? But when we come to a situation or circumstance where we recognize, okay, if I make this change, this could make things a whole lot better. We hesitate.
Yes.
And then we tell the person that we're in a relationship with, I just need some time, to make. No, we don't need time. We don't need time. We just plan funerals in a week when somebody dies.
Sure.
And we adjust our entire lives because we deem burying that person important.
You're right.
So death, a thing that's painful, a thing that's negative, can come into our lives and literally uproot everything and cause us to make changes that are necessary.
Right.
Why don't we do that for the things that are positive in our lives?
And supposedly important.
And that are supposedly important and are supposed to help us to become better. Why don't we? Why are these things not having the impact that they should?
So I tell that I can't leave my husband. I can't leave my husband. Yes. I can.
Man.
That's right. That's what's required of us.
So, Gia says, JJ, I can relate. I have to learn daily not to take my authoritative spirit home.
Yes.
Oh man, this is good. Okay, so Candace Newball says, I totally understand how you feel, Mericha. When I was single, I acted the same way as you. I laid my cards on the table and I said exactly what I wanted. Not done in an aggressive manner, but honestly, I didn't feel like I should waste my time going on several dates with someone who, i.e., didn't want kids. My husband and I got engaged after 6 months because we both knew what we wanted. Right. There's no manual for the way you should act on a first date, but trust your instinct.
Yes, that's good.
After one conversation, you will most likely know if this is something you want to pursue or not.
Yes, that's really good.
It's really good. Go through your comments because I know you have plenty.
Oh, I got so many comments here. They've been so initially I see Jaconda they're agreeing with me that yes, in how you say things to your husband is very, very important. So is Latonia, she's agreeing, and then Kayla says not what you say, but how you say it. And then we started to talk about some other things here. Some people think that change is bad. We started to talk about the compromise. Yes. They're really, really feeling that whole co-promise. Yes, I agree. That's Olayinka Burrows. And let me go. They're gonna go look that up, chat.
Listen, I think she said that on. I think it was Model Homes 2. Yeah, she said that on Model Homes 2.
I don't think I watched 2 yet. I watched 1.
Listen to me.
One that was on point 8.
Gosh, it was so good. It was so good. And you know what? I think what helped me with that is it helped me realize that it was not just something that could be applied to marriage and relationships, but it could be applied to your workplace and to your friends, like every area of your life. Recognizing that when you're interacting with a person, they have in their mind what their ideal is, and they are operating according to how they've been nurtured and how they've been, grown up as a child and what they've seen in their own families, and you need to consider that when you're interacting with an individual.
I want to add too in terms of this when we talk about compromise and really what it is too is you taking responsibility for your actions. Is what it is. You taking responsibility. Now I'm going to tell you, when you do that, Mericha, it's not gonna feel good.
No.
It's gonna feel like you're the only one in this relationship, like you're the only one that cares, and that maybe this person is even considering your feelings, your thoughts, and you're gonna feel really bad. And that's the trick, because it's right there and there. You're gonna be like, you know what, this isn't worth it, and you're gonna want to give up. You're gonna want to give up. I'm telling you. But that feeling right there, that feeling like you're all trodden, like my other half is not, thinking the way that I'm thinking, not feeling the way that I'm feeling.
Right.
It's gonna make you feel so bad. You're gonna want to give up. But that is the point. It's at that point you do not give up. I feel like that sometimes. I wonder if he's gonna get it.
Wow.
I wonder if he's gonna get it.
Wow.
But I can tell you it works, and they will, because the Bible talks about the bed of the married,
Marriage being undefiled,
yes, and it talks about how you be an example for your husband, whoever is that stronger one, being the example for the other one. You're gonna pull them right in, and it happens. You will see them slowly but surely. Now, again, don't say, well, Italia say in a couple days it happen. I read this book, but actually only one chapter I read of the book.
Right.
And it's about toxic marriages. In fact, I have it right here. When to Walk Away. It's the book I'm reading right now. When to Walk Away. All right, talking about toxic people, and then just the toxic marriages, like a portion I kind of zoomed in on.
Right.
And oh my God, mashing my toe, all over my toe. When you think your husband toxic or the other person is toxic,
it's you.
Look at yourself. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. All right, stop looking at them and stop listening to them and what they're doing. You do your part. And Miles said it. We all have a role to play. Play your role.
Listen to me.
That's all.
I feel like I'm exposing all of my business today. Okay, so let me tell you something that happened to me recently. I was being fussed by my pastor, as that usually happens a lot.
Don't be all.
Listen, so I'm being fussed by my pastor. Hey, Shannon, she's tuning in from Mozambique. Hi, Shannon. Okay. Hi, Shannon.
Come on now, Mozambique.
Listen. Okay. So I was being fussed by my pastor, and you know what he said to me? He said that my biggest issue, Mericha, when he was talking to me about this, he said, Mericha, you know what your biggest issue is? When you apologize, you feel like you have the right to give an explanation. He says, if you're truly sorry for what you did,
doesn't matter.
You would say sorry. And it does not matter why you did what you did. You would just simply be sorry. And you would take the posture when the person said, you did this thing that was wrong. You would be like, you know what? I did that. You would humble yourself. You would not be prideful. You would humble yourself and you'd be like, you know what? I'm a human. And the truth of the matter is I make mistakes, and it is my pride that wants to give you an explanation and fight for the reason why I did what I did.
Justification.
And so, Italia, I've been applying that principle ever since that day, and I'm learning that it doesn't matter why I did what I did. It doesn't matter why I felt justified in my wrong. I was wrong.
I'm wrong. That's it. Full stop.
I'm sorry.
Punto.
Now, if you want to have a further conversation as to like how we can avoid this from happening again, then we can go into depth. Okay, let's figure out why this happened and why you did what you did. That's when we have that conversation of explanation.
Yeah.
But when the person that you're having a conversation with, whether it's a spouse, a friend, your boss, a coworker, a family member, whatever it is, and this person says to you, that thing that you did to me offended me. It hurt me. Our natural response should be, I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Because I cannot tell you that your hurt is not real.
Exactly.
I can't tell you that your posture and being offended with me is not real. I can't tell you that.
Yeah, we like to tell people how they feel. Why you feel that way?
I can't tell you
that.
Why
you feel like that? When I didn't mean it like that.
Exactly. So I can't tell you that. And so my response and not my reaction should be, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And that's grown folks talk. That's mature.
Sorry with an explanation is just not sorry.
No.
Daddy.
No. And then your actions should follow.
Yes, man.
Follow
Yeah.
through. We got a lot of people. Oh,
That,
I don't know.
is that my
Wow.
daddy? Alfred Williams?
Hey, Marsha.
Or is that my brother?
Hey, Christina.
Somebody.
That's Emily Williams.
McCann.
Sweet Emily is watching. Sweet Emily.
Sweet Emily, I remember the first time I saw you live.
But listen, I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. Italia, we are out of time.
Already?
Already. This conversation was
Anyway.
so good. I think we may have to go past an hour. I don't know.
I'm really wondering. But let's keep it.
Yeah,
See, let's start small. See, Mericha, see where you going? Let's start small.
Yeah, well, no, we
And
gotta start small.
and as this relationship grows,
Yes.
we will give them more.
Shannon is asking. That's a good question.
Hey,
But
brother,
do you need
gotta
to
share?
do you need to explain at all, or do you need to just ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? That's a good point. I think I'll tell you, in a most recent situation where I did something that was very wrong, very painful, and I felt like I needed to apologize. Let me tell you what I felt like I needed to explain after my apology. What I realized is that in that moment, my reaction to that person was negative because I didn't feel like they actually cared about me. So I was having a disagreement with this person, and they were pointing out something that I did that was wrong, and I knew it wasn't my intent to do the wrong thing. But I couldn't receive that, I guess you could say, criticism or I don't know, correction from that person because I did not feel like they genuinely cared about me. And I felt like the only time I hear from this person is when I've done something wrong.
Well, then that's
They
how
never celebrate the things that I do correctly, and that is, or the things that I do well. And that's where the fight came.
Yeah, defense.
The fight came out of me where I wanted to be like, well, no, like, don't come at me like that. Like, because you don't celebrate the things that I do well. So don't come to me and telling me now that I'm doing this thing wrong and telling me that you're coming to me in love, you know? And so I had to have that conversation with that person because what it did was it made me realize that I was expecting something from this person that they weren't giving to me.
Oh, girl, listen, next thing we need to talk about
And
expectations.
expectations is no joke.
Expectations and relationships.
Like,
That's a big thing.
who?
We got to put a pin on that.
Listen to me.
We got to put a pin right there.
I was expecting to be.
Olinka, what? Past the hour? You're like,
I
I
was
was do on a Monday.
Listen, I was expecting to be celebrated and to be loved on
Right.
and to be encouraged by this
Right, you didn't
person,
get that.
but I didn't get
Get
that.
that.
And so when they came to me and said, "Well, this thing that you did, this was not right, and you should not have done this," I was like, "Excuse me?" And so I was not apologetic. I was like, you know what? No, I don't receive this in love, actually. I don't. I don't. And so it made me realize that there were things on the inside of me. There were things on the inside of me that I had to deal with. Some serious stuff, Italia.
So sorry, Mericha. I don't mean to be laughing while you talking to this Latonya Duncan. She ain't focused at all, man. Latonya looking at my brows, talking about lash and me brows.
We gotta go anyway. We gotta go. It's 4 minutes gone by 12 o'clock. We've had an amazing conversation today. Oh my goodness. And I think the number one takeaway, well, there's so many things that we could take away because so many great things were said, but
that co-promise, man.
listen, that co-promise thing is no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. We're going to be back next week, Monday, and I think we're going to pick up the topic of expectations and relationships.
Yeah, expectations.
I think we're continuing with our perspective, and this probably might just be the perspective until my status changes. What is it like being single, having expectations with your friendships and your family members and relationships, and then what is it like being in a marriage?
Yeah.
That is probably going to be our posture.
Hannah just joined me. A little late, Devard.
Yeah, you little Devard. A little late. What is Kendira saying? Yes, please talk about expectations in relationships, especially the unspoken expectations and how they are often grounds for disappointment.
Yep. Big
yes,
time.
Definitely.
Grounds for divorce in some cases.
Listen. I'm trying to remember the quote that I heard at this business summit. I think the lady, she said something about expectation, and she said that Oh yeah, she said if you have been disappointed because of your expectations, it is your fault. It's your fault. Because if there was no agreement, if there was no meeting ground,
no talk,
where
no
I said, where we made this agreement and we said,
right.
This is what I'm going to do, this is what you're going to do, but you had an expectation of that person and now you're disappointed, that's all on you.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all on you. It has absolutely nothing to do with that person. So that's what we're going to leave you with today. Listen. It's your fault.
Desra. What's
It's
my
your
girl?
fault. If you're disappointed, that person did not agree with you, it's your fault.
Yeah, it totally. It's all on you.
It's
all on
your fault. And we will continue this conversation next week. So listen, thank you so much.
Olienka, 11.
Oh
11.
my gosh.
We're going to be here
thank
at 11.
you guys so much for tuning in.
Thanks, Desra,
To
Chandra.
Girl Talk.
Hashtag expectations. Don't forget, hashtag bump you.
Hashtag bump you is correct.
And hashtag co-promise, guys.
Co.
Hold on, let me do the hashtag right before I go. Hashtag. So hashtag co-promise, guys. Co-promise.
Oh man,
Another great show.
listen, this has been an amazing show.
Super cool.
This has been an awesome time together. And listen, we are just so elated. I can't believe we have 30 people tuned in watching this.
Yeah.
On my Facebook Live. I don't know what
I've
you
been
got going on
I've
there.
been up and down.
I got
down, like going down now.
Plenty stuff, plenty people. And so listen, we're gonna be back. It's Love Week, y'all. It's Love Week. So
Yes.
JJ has had this conversation with me about wearing red. I might wear red.
Yeah, man.
I can put that black in there though.
Yeah, man.
I'm just telling you. Alright. Listen, Pastor Monica Haskell, she's coming your way at 12:30 p.m. So you definitely want to keep it locked in for her. But until Pastor Monica comes in, here is a new one in from Anna Calix. I think this is so perfect for us to play. It's her new single from her new album that she just released. The concert was amazing. The song is called It Has to Be Love. It's 7 minutes gone by the 12 o'clock hour. You're tuned into Glory 93.9 FM. Keep it locked in.